Welcome to Unspun News. We turn now to Adam Ruff, reporting from Los Angeles on the hidden impact of media distortions and propaganda. He will explore for Unspun several important cases of media manipulation.
This is Adam Ruff reporting from Fox Television Center for Unspun News. In one landmark case, a former Fox investigative reporter named Jane Aker did a report about Monsanto's growth hormone, BGH, for milk cows. Aker's report uncovered serious health effects in both the cows producing the milk and the humans consuming the milk. Monsanto, as it turns out, devotes a considerable budget to advertising with Fox News and its affiliates throughout the country. Monsanto discovered that a highly critical report concerning their BGH growth hormone program was about to be released, and they used their considerable influence to pressure Fox to kill the story. The case eventually led to Miss Aker and her co-producer Steve Wilson's termination from Fox for refusing to falsify their report and bury the detrimental effects of BGH. Aker and Wilson later won a wrongful termination lawsuit in a Florida court, where the jury found that Fox had indeed pressured the pair to alter their report. Fox appealed the case, arguing that there was no FCC requirement against misrepresenting the facts on the news. Several other media conglomerates joined with Fox, arguing for their right to lie. In a stunningly narrow interpretation of the law, the Florida Court of Appeals ruled that news corporations can legally lie, thus overturning the lower court's decision in favor of Aker and Wilson. If the media are willing to lie to us about issues of public health, such as the safety of the milk that we drink, what else are they willing to lie to us about, and why? In late 2001, ABC's Brian Ross broadcast several reports linking Iraq to the anthrax attacks that were taking place at that time. We know now, some 8 years later, that the anthrax came from Fort Detrick, Maryland, and the terrorist was homegrown. Yet ABC hasn't issued a single retraction or correction to their original stories. Ross's deceptive stories about anthrax were used as justification for the invasion of Iraq. Those lies have clearly now cost a great many lives.
My name is Ryan Endicott. I served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps Infantry. I was deployed my first time to Al Ramadi in 2005. From March to October, and my second deployment I did in Southeast Asia. Every single reason that we've been told by mainstream media is absolutely ridiculous. They all completely contradict each other, and it doesn't take a very intelligent person to realize that what's going on there is obviously for the benefit of the few by the torture of many. For me, it's a very large sense of internal turmoil, because I now have to deal with the fact that I went in support of what I thought was right and doing what I thought was justice, and now I have to come home understanding that I was lied to, just like the American people. But for me, I was lied to, and I was sent to do a mission that was basically an illegal, horrible, atrocious occupation.
I did 3 tours in Iraq. I did the initial invasion. I did a follow-up at Haditha, and my 3rd tour was in Fallujah. And about a year and a half after I was out, I sat down at the computer one day. A friend of mine told me, "Oh, you got to watch this documentary. It's great, you know." And the documentary changed my life. For the first time, I was seeing clearly that the highest levels of the government were corrupt, and that everything I had known my entire life just fell apart right then and there. The official story of 9/11 is bullshit, and people need to wake up to it. And you know, they can't realize that there's other people who had eyewitness testimony to bombs in the buildings, but they were just shrugged off. You know, why is the media hiding this? MSNBC, CNN, Fox, they're all talking pieces for the White House. Basically, they take their word and then they send it out to the American people, and they don't vet any of the information. What needs to happen is that people need to wake up through alternative media. That's who's leading the way right now. With the internet, it's the alternative media that's telling the truth and letting everybody know what's going on. Not sitting in front of a tube in front of your TV all day, listening to the media and believing all their lies. I still hear people believing their lies from back in 2003 with the weapons of mass destruction and the chemicals and all that stuff. I guess I have to say, you know, when the bottle runs out, so do the excuses. You know, you can't keep, you know, drinking your nightmares away, and you got to face reality someday. Now, I guess 9/11 truth is my sobering moment, that I'm able to look back and say, what the hell was it all for? It's a fucking joke. And my brothers and sisters died for this bullshit.
I'm Brad Friedman from bradblog.com. The title of this panel, "Have the Media Undermined Our Democracy?" I submitted my written testimony at Bradblog yesterday on that question, the answer being yes, with many exclamation marks. Not a little bit, but yes in a big, big way. This situation is so much worse than we can possibly even discuss today. Though I have a blog that reaches the whole wide world, Paul Revere had an advantage over me. He had a horse, and if I had one, and if I could, I would ride it down these stairs yelling, the corporate mainstream media has failed. Corporate mainstream media has failed. It is, as I say, much worse than we can possibly discuss here this afternoon. The old way of fighting, I think, no longer works. The panel discussions, the congressional debates, the academic studies, folks, the bad guys have figured out how to game all of those. So all of these institutions, the media, the government, the interest groups, have all become compromised. It is, I feel, up to the people to hold them accountable. The media has completely failed their First Amendment obligation to hold anybody accountable.
Conclusive evidence has recently been released proving that high-tech explosives were used to bring down the Twin Towers in New York on 9/11. Yet the mainstream media remains completely silent on this incredibly important issue. Our question is why? The vast majority of people working for big media are honest, hardworking individuals who want to give us the truth and the facts that we need to make informed decisions. Yet, it's the corporate CEOs, the media moguls at the top, such as Rupert Murdoch, who make the real decisions about what we hear, about what we see, and about what we read. And they make those decisions based on what's best for the corporation, not what's best for the American people. The mainstream media has failed us. We simply can't afford to trust a system that lies to us about public safety and health issues, that lies to us about the reasons for war, and that lies to us about 9/11. We the people have always had the power to stop big media. The The revolution begins now with one small act of defiance. Subscribe, and together we can retake our airwaves. We give you the substance corporate media refuses, right here on Unspun News.